Sorry, Dan.
That's 3 on the
Dan Loomis is offended by swear words, as you may know.
I'm just looking forward to hearing him swear.
Okay. I had the pleasure of working with Mary Hertzfeld all day and every day for the last 6 years, mostly in the library, occasionally in the hallway, and now and then outside. We've spent a lot of time together, more than anyone, including a lot of married couples. So, the first time I ever met Mary, she offered to get me coffee since I was her new boss. Mary always thinks of others before herself. That being said, I think most of you only saw a certain side of Mary, the nice, sweet grandma side. Those grandbabies are really adorable, but I'm here to tell you that while it's true she's a sweet grandma who's an excellent baker, there's also this whole other side. For starters, Warren wasn't the first one to think of F-bomb Fridays. The library has really evolved in the last few years, and there's just a lot of ridiculous things that happen to us. And Mary would often say, we need a sense of humor to get through all this, and without a doubt, she has a great one. Especially in the years I was working on my master's, I would laugh until I cried at something Mary would say, mostly because I was really tired and she's really funny. The music in the hallway and Mary's comments related to them was without a doubt one of the greatest sources of entertainment for me. In particular, she loves Justin Bieber. She would never fail to make a comment about any one of his songs. They would range from, are they choking a dog out there? to, is that the Biebs in the hallway? Sounds like he's been having a bad day. Mary and the students also had a special relationship. Mary has way above average hearing, which often resulted in some hilarious conversations, particularly about profanity. A really good example of this is there were students who would say something like, hell isn't a swear word, it's in the Bible. Without missing a beat, Mary would respond, hell may be in the Bible, but it's not in the library. She also provided a lot of life advice to kids, whether they wanted it or not. Probably my favorite comment of all time has to be, they don't know whether to shit, stare, or whine when I'm done with them. As you may expect, that pretty much covers it. One of the other unexpected sides of Mary was her ability to have incredibly witty comments at just the right moment. For example, when the guy I had been dating dumped me, Mary's response was, Amy, don't worry about dying alone. If you feel like you're gonna die, just call me up and I'll come sit on your couch. I don't know why she missed this. As soon as I knew we did these speeches when someone retired, I also knew I had to be prepared because I didn't want to get up here and cry or something. So I've been keeping a list of some of the more funny comments that Mary made. Here's some of my favorites. She said this one all the time. Some days you'll just feel better if you shot yourself in the foot. That kid thinks he's so great that his shit rolls uphill. I've lived 62 years without watching Battlestar Galactica. Why would I start now? I can't remember who the person was, but they were on the cover of a magazine, and Mary's comment was, wow, they look great. I thought he'd look like an old fogey by now or possibly be dead. In my day, we didn't go to the bathroom during class. They just told us to pray. I've watched a few Lifetime movies, so I know all about that. Becky was waiting for you. Luckily, that emergency response team call came. Otherwise, I was going to ask her for tips to firm up my arms a bit. Okay, this is, I've definitely told before, but a little bit of background for some of the people who don't know the characters in this. Several years ago, we had this computer tech who would just hang out in the library for no reason. And by hang out, he would talk to Mary and I about stuff we didn't care about, and he never noticed that we were not listening. So one day he was chatting with Mary and I about his desire to move on to bigger and better things, and used the analogy that he was a big fish in a little pond. Mary's response was, "It's not the pond, it's the fish." I have a great idea for our Halloween costume. You could be a prostitute and I'll be your pimp. We're gonna need to buy some cantaloupes though. That makes about as much sense as a screen door on a submarine. And then finally, nothing lasts forever, except for some of those STDs. Without a doubt, Mary was an amazing aide. More important than that, she's a great friend. The lessons she taught me went way beyond the scopes of our jobs. For starters, she taught me that old people can be cool. She also did a really good job at making other people look really good. For example, she didn't mention to anyone that I didn't know the difference between a box and a case my first year. Many of you are still benefiting from that. I also have no idea how to work the ceiling fans in the library, which is why it always sounds like a helicopter this year. Another memorable moment is when she lent me her car because I locked my keys. It was a long story. Now I know how to break into my own house. So she lent me her car, and then I killed a rabbit with it, and it was like a pretty violent death, and so there was blood splatter all over it. She wasn't even sort of upset, so that was nice. She also went along with every single one of my not so well thought ideas in the Halloween costumes with enthusiasm. She was such a great giver of both professional and personal advice, and really deserves every drop of ink on my master's degree for all of the panicked moments and freakouts. So I'm really gonna miss her.